everyone, my name is Ryan and this is Addy and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. Before we start the video, I'm going to start fining Addy for each time he comes down about his Boxtalk hoodie.
It's ridiculous actually, I've got so many.
Of course you've got so many.
I've got so many.
Yeah.
And they're free. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
sorry,
yeah.
This is, yeah.
We're going to start fining Addy each week, yeah?
Yeah.
And then I can get a bottle of Remy B back. Alright then, let's get to the video. This fight needs no build up, no introduction. It's the biggest fight UK this half of the year by far. Quick Frampton was something that was burning in, like, you know, don't want to ask a question.
Who's the best?
That was a question answered.
Yeah.
In terms of anticipation, Anthony Joshua going for a world title right now has seemed to have taken over everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people that watch in America might not get the point, but Anthony Joshua has grown up on Sky, which is basically like domestic TV now. Yeah.
It is domestic TV.
Kind of, yeah.
Everyone's on Sky.
Yeah. From his first fight, they've been pushing him, they've been selling him. He's had all the videos and the VTs on Sky. When you go to an Anthony Joshua press conference, it's totally jam-packed. Unbelievable. Yeah, he could barely do one-on-one interviews now.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
you have to do like 7-on-1 interviews. Yeah, you can't do one-on-one.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, he's become a superstar over here in such a short period of time. It's not about Charles Martin over here. It's about the title.
How long has he been pro fighting, Joshua? 2 years?
2 years.
2 years? 2013, end of 2013?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
But let's put in Charles Martin into the mix right now. I'm going to quote what Johnny Nelson told me, and it's a very valid point. He said, take away the IBF title, this is a bloody tough match. People saying it's too soon for Joshua to go for a world title shot. He said, forget that. Look at the development of Charles Martin and the development of Anthony Joshua, and it's a perfect match in terms of skill. Addy?
Yeah, Anthony Joshua. One thing I saw of Charles Martin is that he's a massive guy. The video of me interviewing Charles Martin, if you've not seen it, is quite embarrassing. I'm 5'10", 5'11", so I'm not 6 foot, I get it. Charles Martin made me look like I was like 4'2", and it made me look like I've never been gym in my life.
Yeah, it's a camera angle.
Yeah, it's like, do you even lift? And I do lift. So he made me look like, do you even lift? And he was massive.
And then some guys that are like 6'2.5", 210, kind of look looking next to.
Ryan filmed it at an angle that made me look really small. But getting to the point is that we've always looked at Anthony Joshua, and one thing we've always said about him, my God, he's a big guy. Yeah. He has a big frame. Charles Martin looks at him and is like, you're just a normal guy.
Yeah.
If I was to go toe to toe with someone my size, exactly my size, it's like, okay, we're the same size. What's the problem? You go gym, I don't, so you've got a bit more muscular development. You might have a bit more traps and biceps, but you're just my size. So that goes out the window straight away. He's not afraid of size. Yeah. And look, echo what Ryan said about Johnny Nelson. He said Charles Martin will look at Anthony Joshua like, you've not fought anybody. People are looking at me like, I've not done anything. Yeah. You've not done anything. Yeah. So he's not looking at Anthony Joshua the way we look at Anthony Joshua over here, like, my God, he's the future superstar. He's thinking, the options were David Haye, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, maybe Povetkin, Derek Chisora, and he's probably for, wait a minute, Anthony Joshua then. Yeah. Most money probably, and probably the weakest resume. I'm thinking, why not?
If you're going to be honest and be critical about it, you look at Joshua's last fight against Dillian White, and you say, guess what? There's holes I could capitalize on. Yeah. Because I'm an athlete. I'm the same type of size. Yes. I could punch as well. Yeah. So you know,
you'll look at him thinking that you're right, and we all saw what when Dillian White landed. Yeah. Hate to say it, I mean, I know it's boxing, but we've all said, okay, what happens when he gets hit? We've all said that, and that was one of the first ones that landed flush, and his legs wobbled.
But he proved he could take it, though.
He proved he could take it.
And that's what I like, though. I mean,
it was almost like, you know when Street Fighter, where his energy goes low, and then he just got more energy, and then boom, destroyed him.
No, when you first get your first pass your driving lesson, and the first time that a cat or a dog or a fox runs to the road, you're like, oh my gosh, and that shock value, that was Joshua's shock value. Yeah. Next time the fox runs in the road, what do? You flash your light.
Flash your light.
Yeah, the panic's not there no more.
You run over it.
You know what I mean? Or you run over it. Yeah, but the point I'm making is the panic's not there. Yeah. Joshua had that panic moment. All the bells went crazy. He started sweating. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I've been hit! Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!" He got over it. Yeah. When he gets hit again, he won't react the same way. Hopefully, well, history tells us he shouldn't react the same way now going forward. before this fight was signed, guys, you know, man of my word, it's on video. I said Martin's gonna get smoked. Yeah. I like Martin. I've seen a few of his fights, 2-3 of them, and overall weren't too impressed. And then when this fight got signed, and I met Charles Martin, had a good chat with him. Really nice guy, really cool guy. You know what I mean, respectful as well, humble. Yeah. But I can't praise the guy more.
We both said it, didn't we? After.
Couldn't praise the guy more. Yeah. So I done a little research and said, let me watch some of these fights in these little backhall arenas and these they look like what's the word, like shacks where he's had all these fights coming up. And guess what? He's definitely got something. He has definitely got something. Southpaw. His left hand is very, very accurate. Knocks a lot of guys out with straight punches. Know what I mean? Not the powerful hooks and uppercuts. Know what I mean? He's accurate. He's accurate. He's got power, and he's relaxed. See how Joshua at times doesn't look relaxed. He looks kind of ready to go, and kind of like it's all a game. It's not a game with Martin. He seems very relaxed, very composed. Very loose.
Very loose.
His problem, what I saw in the fights I saw previously, was his slow start. Slow start doesn't mean a bad start. Miguel Cole's notoriously a slow starter, and he's a Hall of Famer and a four-weight world champion. So just because you're a slow start, it doesn't mean you're a bad fighter. And I think Charles Martin got tagged with being a bad fighter because we saw these slow starts against mediocre opposition, and it's given us a bad taste in your mouth. Watch his real fights, or watch his whole fights, last 6, 7, 8 of them, he's definitely got something.
It's a very tough fight. You know, it's weird because it is one of those fights. Initially, when it's made, you're thinking, okay, they're just trying to feed Joshua a world title, and then you kind of look at it properly and you think, well, Joshua's only 16-0. He isn't the finished article. We know that, which is why every other heavyweight and his dog has called him out, because they know, get him now, because there's a load to work on still. Joshua admits that himself. Remember, Joshua didn't have. Although Joshua was Olympic gold medalist and I think World Championship silver medalist, he didn't have an amateur career. We're not talking 200 fights, 150 fights. You know what I mean? There's not that much. He's just got through the amateurs with just brute strength and brute force and a bit of boxing skill, and he's having to add and add and add. I don't know if he's got enough yet. So what people say was, when people said Charles Martin's not a natural boxer, he's come from another sport, he started boxing late. Guess what? So did Anthony Joshua start boxing late. So most people say Anthony Joshua was like, oh, he looks more made for the game. He started late in his late teens, just like Charles Martin. So that's why they don't have that perfect blend of athleticism and skill and boxing right now. But they're getting it. Which makes it a good fight. Yeah, it does make it a good fight. When I look at the heavyweight division right now, I think it's changed a lot, mainly because obviously the loss of Vladimir. But also, I think we've got a lot of top 10 heavyweights that are not really contenders. They're kind of like prospects / contenders. They're not complete articles. I'll give you my example right now. Now, regardless if you like him or not, Chris Arreola is a contender. He's been at the top of the game for a long time. Yes, he's kind of slipped up a little, but you know, he's been in the ring. We know what he's got. We know he can fight at a high level, but he can fight at a poor level. We got guys like Joshua, like Martin, like Parker, and Andy Ruiz. That we don't really know if they could fight at the high level or the low level. We don't really know what they really got. Even Chuck Dillian White in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So I can't really call them contenders because we don't really know what they got, but they're kind of prospects / contenders. You know what I mean?
Is it bad then that prospects / contenders are fighting for an IBF heavyweight championship?
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. That's the division right now. The point I'm making is though, is that these fights here now, that they're fighting each other now, is what we actually want in boxing.
Okay.
You want the prospects to fight the prospects. You want the guys to actually make it to the top and fight all the good guys in the route. You don't want them to fight the guys that they should be fighting when the title is. You want them to fight the guys that should be fighting throughout their career.
Okay, so basically, minus the title, you're saying, like what Johnny Nelson said, it's just a good fight between two good prospects.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, right now, regardless what you think or what I think, if you put, even though I don't rate Andy Ruiz one bit, but if you put Andy Ruiz, Joseph Parker, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, Charles Martin, and even from Deontay Wilder, even though there's a title list, and put them all in a mix for match, I guarantee it'd be crazy.
It'd be like a good Super 6.
Yeah, you won't know who's going to win each match because they all have strengths and weaknesses because no one really knows what each of them really have. Know what I mean? We know what Povetkin's got. We know what Vladimir's got. We know what Puljev's got. We know what all these other guys
We know
got.
what Lewis Ortiz has.
We know what Lewis Ortiz has. We don't know what all these guys got right. All these guys got right now. So that's it. It kind of makes them all kind of even.
And to be fair, Adam Smith would echo that. When I interviewed Adam Smith, and I kind of said, okay, Joshua wins the title. Does he fight the Deontay Wilder's next or Tyson Fury's next? He was like, nope. You heard the interview. He said he's not ready for those guys yet.
Yeah.
So they know as well that he's not ready for it yet either. So it does make an interesting fight. All right, go on.
Why is it always me first?
Because I go off what you said. We can toss the coin on it if you want.
Honestly and truly, originally I thought it was a blowout for Joshua. But looking at it now and being, not. Some people say I'm a big Joshua fan. And I keep saying I'm a boxing fan. And putting my boxing brain on and looking at what I've seen of White and what I've seen of Joshua, they're two Martin and Joshua, they're very similar in their own unique ways.
Yeah.
The difference is one's a tad faster in Joshua, who likes to start fast and aggressive, and the other one starts slower but seems to be more accurate with his punches. They both could hurt each other. Joshua's best bet to win this fight is to, now once they come out reckless, is to come out hard and fast.
Kevin Johnson.
Yeah. Let the slow starter be slow.
Yeah.
I mean, let him beat the snail.
Yeah.
Know what I'm trying to say? And Joshua could blow him out. Yeah? But if Joshua doesn't blow him out, what happens when the snail races the rabbit?
Snail will get there when that rabbit gets tired.
When the rabbit gets tired, the snail will get there. And that's what's going to happen. That's what I feel is going to happen. It is a fight for Anthony Joshua to win. Yeah? And I'm going for Joshua to win by stoppage, but he has to pull it off early. I do not see Joshua having a good fight down the line. Joshua looked like he got tired in the Dillian White fight around 6ish. Yeah? Even though he caught him and he caught him with a great uppercut, that tremendous knockout, he was slowing down. That frenetic pace he started in the first 2-3 rounds was over. You know, it was a little bit slower, a little more dedicated. If he slows into that type of pace with an accurate puncher who's his own size, he's not going to be intimidated by the reach or the muscle mass, and start throwing those long punches from the southpaw position, it's a long night for Joshua. But my prediction is Joshua KO 5.
Oh, interesting. When this fight, like Ryan said, was first mentioned, again, I think we said it on This Week in Boxing, I said, Joshua smashes him in 2. Easy. And I always sometimes think with myself, I've got to go with what my gut instinct says straight away. I could watch 24/7s and all accesses and, face to face, which is going to be a good one between these two. Johnny Nelson said it was a good one.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with what I said initially. Charles Martin is good. Charles Martin is okay. He's a good boxer. But I think when Joshua steamrolls you, he steamrolls you. Yeah. It really does. It's quite intimidating. When he lands, it's not one punch KO, but they're thudding and you remain hurt. Watch his punches, you do remain a bit dazzled and dazed. I think Charles Martin's going to do a bit better than I thought he was going to do because he's IBF heavyweight champion. That gives you another 10-15%. You walk in with the belt, you're the man. Yeah. But I think Joshua's on a bit of a roll right now. And I think Charles Martin is an athlete, not a boxer. And I feel like, although Joshua is an athlete, he's now becoming a very good boxer, and I think it's going to prevail. I think he's got to get Charles Martin out of there early. If he doesn't get him out of there early, we could have problems, and I mean serious problems. So I'm going to go for Joshua 3, which is early, only because I think if it goes past 3-4, wow, I think that gas tank with all that lactic acid and all that muscle mass against someone that is as big but no muscle mass causes problems.
When I watched just talking about Charles Martin, when I watched his the fight with Glasgow and the fight with Tom Dallas, he looked very plodding, but there were only obviously 2 rounds, or 1 or 2 rounds in the Tom Dallas fight, and the Glasgow fight, it was over before it started really. Yeah. Watching his other fights, especially his finishes, he covers ring distance well. Know what I mean? Yeah, so it doesn't mean he's as slow as he looks. You know what I'm trying to say? You always hear, like in boxing, that what you see in the ring and what it's like in real life is 2 different things. You're always slow, you don't punch that fast, you don't punch that hard. But the people in the ring say, guess what? Nah, it's not like that. Yeah. Anyone that's been in the ring will tell you it's much quicker and much more intense than it looks in TV. Yeah. And me, I'm a victim of it as well. He's slow, he's static, he don't move his legs well. Looking at it again, analytically, at not just 1 or 2 fights, looking at 6, 7, 8 of his fights, and I'm trying to say, he can move. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Alright, so me and Ryan are both going for Joshua win. Just like Britain will have a new heavyweight champion of the world, possibly, along with Tyson Fury.
Yep.
If David Haye fights Lucas Brown, could be David Haye.
Lucas Brown said today, did not negotiate goes with David Haye.
See, David Haye's just tricking everyone, isn't it? All that nonsense.
Yeah.
Boy, anyway.
David Haye might as well fight Tarver. You saw that interview.
Who should David Haye fight? Different video. Who should David Haye fight? Should he fight a name now? After
Yes.
He should straight away fight a name.
David Haye's told me he wants to talk, he needs to fight someone credible. Joshua's credible right now. Joshua's top 10. You want a top 10 fighter, fight a top 10 fighter.
I think the name. Interesting. Alright,
Guys, look for this video by Antonio Tarver that went out last week of him literally begging David Haye for a fight. It's bloody sad.
Yeah, it is. But it's an improvement on what Joshua fight. I mean, that muscle, bloody bodybuilder that thing fought last time.
As much as it might be an entertaining fight for what it is, as much as Tarver has a name, there's no value in David Haye being a 47-year-old fighter.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate this way it is.
Yeah, no, you're right. Alright, guys, there you go. Anthony Joshua, Charles Martin, IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World, April 9th.
Yeah.
O2 Arena, sold out in 90 seconds, supposedly.
Yeah. I heard a lot of stories about
the StubHub stuff.
StubHub,
People
yeah.
are really pissed off about the StubHub thing. Because StubHub then charge an extra.
Yeah.
Poor. Really poor. Undercards now we know is Selby.
All I'm saying is, yeah, Matchroom's profits.
Matchroom's profits. Macklin's fighting Brian Rose. I don't know why on the undercard. Selby's defending.
Connor Ben is on the undercard.
Connor Ben's on it. I think it's Luke Campbell. No, Luke Campbell's not. Luke Campbell's under the Kell Brook undercard.
Yeah.
So far for me, it's not a deep undercard. I think so far, but who knows? They might add another couple of names to it. I mean, when you think about the other one, I mean, although they weren't names, Paulie Malignaggi, just of interest. Derek Chisora fought on the undercard. It was packed. This so far isn't great, but
that's what I'm saying. They're booking pay-per-views before they miss a pay-per-view card.
Alright, there you go, guys. Peace. Remember, subscribe, tweet, share, the usual. Thank you.